an opportunity. Herodotus tells of many fascinating peoples out there. The Budinians all have piercing grey eyes and bright red hair. Then there are the Argipei, bald from birth, men and women alike, with snub noses and large chins. For a physiognomist to see the soul behind such strange faces, that would be a triumph. But most extraordinary of all are the Heruli.
Did you not just say people believe any nonsense about the ends of the earth? Castricius interrupted. Herodotus also tells of men with goat feet, whole tribes of the one-eyed, and others who turn into wolves for a few days each year.
Hippothus smiled urbanely. You know your literature, Legate. Men misjudge you when they describe you as an ill-educated soldier jumped up from the ranks. You have transcended your origins.
Castricius's thin lips were pressed tight in his small mouth.
Of course, the Greek continued, most such things may be travellers' tales and myths. Herodotus claimed only to report what others told him. He did not vouchsafe the truth of it. Yet it is universally acknowledged that he was correct to state that climate and style of life shape the character of a people. The sea of grass does not change, so neither do the nomads.
The fifth man, who had neither spoken nor seemed to have been listening, turned inboard from the sea. He was a strikingly ugly older man, sparse tufts of hair on his great domed skull, a thin, peevish mouth.
If Polybius discovered the real reason we have been sent, he had reason to run.
At Calgacus's words, the others fell silent. Instinctively, they looked down the length of the warship. There was little privacy to be had on a trireme, especially one burdened with an extra 35 passengers on deck. The triarch and the helmsman were some paces away. The commander was talking earnestly to the latter. No one else was particularly near. If the men at the stern kept their voices down, they were unlikely to be overheard.
Apart from us and the two eunuchs, no one knows, Ballista said.
Calgacus snorted with derision.
Shite,
he muttered, perfectly audibly. Ballista sighed. Since his childhood among the Angles of northern Germania, Calgacus had always been there. When Ballista had been taken as a hostage into the Roman Imperium, Calgacus had accompanied him. First as a slave, then, after manumission, the old Caledonian had looked after him, always complaining, always there. Tolerant patroness that he was, Ballista would allow such latitude only to one other of his freedmen. That man spoke next.
The old bastard is right, Maximus said. The whole boat knows. Eunuchs are like women, they love to gossip.
Emperors are fools to trust their sort, Castricius put in. Neither one thing nor the other. They are unnatural, monstrous, like crows. It is an ill omen just to meet one, let alone travel to the ends of the earth with a couple.
Neither doves nor ravens, Maximus agreed. Eunuchs or not, Calgacus said. Whether there are any hostages to ransom or not, you have fuck all hope of succeeding in the real mission. You'll never persuade the Heruli to turn on their Gothic allies. They will take the Emperor's gold, little enough as it is, then slit our throats, turn our hides into cloaks, bow cases or some such shite, and no one in our great Emperor Gallienus's concilium will give a fuck.
Not necessarily, Ballista said. Felix and Rutulus will have a worse time in the north trying to get the Grithungi to attack their fellow Gothic tribes, and Sabinillus and Zeno not much better in the west, getting the Carpi, Taifali, and Gepidae to fight any of the Goths.
Good, said Calgacus. We can take comfort in them being as doomed as us. A whole range of men in imperial disfavour will have died serving the res publica. Of course, the donkey-fucking Heruli may not get the chance to kill us. We have to survive the Meote and the Uragundi Goths before we reach them.
Suitably chastened, the 5 men relapsed into silence. Ballista judged that Calgacus might well be right, but there was no point in admitting it. Of all the daunting imperial mandata Ballista had received from Gallienus and his predecessors, these orders gave him the worst feeling. The breeze was freshening, cresting the thick green waves.